Hi guys, so in today's video we're gonna talk about what is Kibbe Celebrities list. I have many new people on my channel here, especially many who came from TikTok, who are new to Kibbe subject. Sometimes I just get questions like, what is Kibbe Celebrities list? First of all, I have a huge Kibbe playlist. I'm gonna leave the link down below if you wanna start from the beginning. Now I'm gonna update all my older videos with new knowledge that I have about Kibbe. I'm gonna do a huge presentation of Kibbe very soon, so stay tuned, subscribe to this channel not to miss it. Let's recap very fast. There's ancient Asian philosophy, yin and yang, two energies. Yin is in softness, roundness, lightness, and so on. Yang is strength, sharpness, elongation. So these two energies are everywhere in our world. And then there were some artists who decided to use this philosophy describing different aesthetics of people's bodies. It started long before Kibbe. It started at the beginning of the 20th century, and there was a McJimsey, I think, some other authors who wrote the books about this, and they were talking about how some women can be more young, more elongated, sharp and strong. They called it dramatics. Some women can be soft, rounded, smallish. They called them romantics. So overall, there were 5 types: romantics, dramatics, naturals, classics, and gamines. Gamines is a teenage girl. Kibbe in the 80s got this technology and developed it into 13 types. Almost each of these 5 types now had sharper version and softer version. For example, soft classic or dramatic classic. Kibbe gave each one very special name because that name had to reflect, to actually show the aesthetic of this particular type. From my viewpoint, this is very exact names. Kibbe is very specific about words that he is using. He has huge vocabulary. So I had to sit with a dictionary to actually read his book. But this is very interesting, and it is opening a new world of an amazing, huge amount of knowledge about many different things, many different aesthetics that are around us in the world, which many people don't even notice. Some stylists, they don't even know about it. So they use some different techniques. I actually have an amazing video, types of stylists. I'm gonna leave the link down below. So in the 80s, Kibbe made this technology and he created this book Metamorphosis that was very popular, and now it's very expensive. You can buy it still somewhere in internet, but it costs like $500 or something. Kibbe changed his technology a little bit right now, and he is gonna publish new books soon, so we are all waiting for that. He changed it a little bit, so now he has not 13 types but 10, because he said pure classics don't exist, pure naturals don't exist, and pure gamines don't exist. In our world, there's no absolutes. Everybody tends to whether softer version or sharper version. Back then, in the 80s, he made this book, and that was first ever makeover of a woman, before and after, head to toe. None of these women were famous. This is approximately how that looked in the book. I have a great video about review of Kibbe's book, and I show you each transformation there, so I'm gonna leave the link down below. And in this book, he talks about one specific type, natural, for example. First, he talks about its yin and yang balance. Then he talks about what kind of bodies these women have. And then he gives us example of several celebrities. So of course there was celebrities of old Hollywood mostly, not modern celebrities that we know of now. So in this book there were approximately from 7 to 10, I would say, examples of these celebrities. Later he would reassign some of them. For example, Ingrid Bergman, in his book, that was pure natural. Then he later reassigned it to Flamboyant natural because she's still much more elongated. And then in 2000s, many Kibbe publics started appearing everywhere in internet, and people actually were catching each of his words whenever he appeared in this or that public, or he had his masterclass somewhere. People kept asking him about celebrities, about modern celebrities, and many people were noting that down. So somehow people created this list. Kibbe himself, he didn't create this Kibbe celebrities list. He just threw his ideas here and there, and people created this list. And this list was on the internet for some time. Some people recreated that list, adding their thoughts in there as if it's verified by Kibbe. So it created a little bit of a confusion in internet. I'm gonna present you now the full list of women and men that Kibbe assigned over the last years up to now, 2023. There are some of the celebrities are very, very modern, very new. I want to make this list just purely verified by Kibbe without any opinions from outside. Even my opinions, I don't put in there. He is kind of my teacher in terms of aesthetic aesthetics of the bodies. Before I start read you the list, there's one disclaimer, and he actually writes this disclaimer in his book. When you look at these celebrities, keep in mind that these ladies might not be dressed in their best lines in David Kibbe's recommendations, so you might be confused. For example, a soft gamine woman can choose flamboyant natural style. She won't look like soft gamine for you probably from the beginning. Sometimes it's hard to see the real body behind that visual shell that they created around her. Sometimes this shell is created by stylists. Sometimes the person herself feels it or doesn't feel it. I think also that is a special skill of directors of the movies or people who choose this or that star for a certain role in a movie. Sometimes the type of a person's aesthetic is so far from somebody they try to make a play, even the best in the world actress would have to do something with her in terms of hair and makeup, and sometimes they do these weird wigs for them just to create something like nobody saw her as blonde, but it so much doesn't fit her. Sometimes some women or some men, they have to play somebody that they're very far from. I think that is the skill of a director of the movies, really see how organic this or that star would be for that particular role. So in this Kibbe system, you will understand so much more. Another thing that David Kibbe says that in one type, there can be women that are so different, but they have one thing in common, and this is their yin and yang balance. Now we're gonna start with dramatics. When you check those pictures, you might feel like, oh, they're so different. They are, but they have one thing in common. They have extreme yang in the aesthetic of their body and face. Certain recommendations will work for them a bit better than other recommendations. That's all. Alexis Smith, Angelica Houston, Kate Blanchett, Claire Danes, Diane Carroll, Faye Dunaway, Jean Tierney, Greta Garbo, Jamie Lee Curtis, Joan Crawford, Kate Moss, says possible, Katharine Hepburn, Kathleen Turner, Keira Knightley, says possible, Kristen Wiig, Lauren Bacall, Lena Horne, Louise Brooks, says probably, Maggie Smith, Michelle Dockery, Olivia Culpo, Cheryl Lee Ralph, Taylor Swift, Tilda Swinton. Now let's go to dramatic men. I have amazing video analyzing men's body types. It's in 2 parts. I'm gonna leave the link down below. I show more pictures there. Sean Connery, Charlton Heston, George Hamilton, Burt Lancaster, Jack Palance, Ricardo Montalban, Errol Flynn, Sam Shepard, Daniel Craig, Benedict Cumberbatch. Now let's go to soft dramatic. Adele, Anita Ekberg, Anita Morris, Anne Bancroft, Ava Gardner, Barbara Carrera, she was moved from dramatic to soft dramatic, Barbara Streisand, Christina Hendricks, Jacqueline de Ribes, Kim Novak, Mae West, Maria Callas, Marlene Dietrich, Michelle Lee, Rachel Weisz, Raquel Welch, Rita Hayworth, in the book as theatrical romantic, and then she was moved to soft dramatic in 2016 by David. Sandra Milo, Sofia Vergara, Sophia Loren, Valerie Perrine. Now let's go to soft dramatic men. Dean Martin, Christian Bale, Matthew McConaughey, John Travolta, Nicolas Cage, Clark Gable. Now let's go to flamboyant naturals. Amy Adams, Anne Hathaway, David said, might have had work done and might not look quite flamboyant natural. B. Arthur, Blythe Danner was reassigned by David Kibbe from Soft Classic in 2016. Brooke Shields, Cameron Diaz, Carly Simon, Charlize Theron, Christy Brinkley, Cindy Crawford, Claudia Schiffer, Colleen DeHurst, Emma Stone, Eve Arden, Farrah Fawcett, Giselle Bündchen, he said probably to a grad, Gwyneth Paltrow, Heidi Klum, Ingrid Bergman, he reassigned her from natural. Jane Fonda was moved from natural to flamboyant natural. Jean Smart, Jennifer Lawrence, Julia Roberts, Katie Holmes, he says probably, Linda Evans, Liv Ullmann, Lucy Arnaz, Lucille Ball, Linda Carter, Lynn Redgrave, Michelle Obama, Natalie Dormer, Nicole Kidman, Rosalind Russell, but in the book she was as dramatic, so he reassigned her to Flamboyant Natural. Princess Diana of Wales, Sarah Jessica Parker, Shirley MacLaine, Tracy Alice Ross, Uma Thurman, Vanessa Redgrave. There's also a note from Kibbe that a lot of supermodels are Flamboyant Naturals. Now we have Flamboyant Natural men, and some men in the list are with a question mark, so probably Kibbe said maybe he's that type. Calvin Klein, but with question mark, Hugh Jackman, Dick Van Dyke, Harrison Ford, Bruce Jenner, Clint Eastwood, Tom Selleck with question mark, Michael Landon with question mark, Joe Biden. Now let's go to natural. In present time, David Kibbe doesn't use pure naturals. He says everybody's whether soft natural or flamboyant natural. So probably from this list, he would actually reassign all these people to more flamboyant version or to more soft version. I'm still gonna read you naturals from his list as it was stated before. Ali McGraw, Angelina Jolie, he said a natural of some kind, Carol Burnett, Chris Everett Lloyd, Karen Allen, Liv Tyler, he said a natural of some kind. We don't have natural men. I just have a little note here, I don't know if it's true or not, that Brad Pitt at the beginning was pure natural, but then he reassigned him to soft natural. Now let's go to soft natural type. Alexa Ray Joel, he said probably. Ali Sheedy, she was moved to soft natural from natural. Barbara Hershey, Betty Grable, Carol Lombard, Chloe Savigny, Doris Day. David said she's also an icon for soft natural. Ellen Barkin, Goldie Hawn, Fergie. I've seen in other lists it said that he meant Sarah Ferguson, not Fergie the singer. Helen Mirren, Jennifer Lopez, Joan Blondell, Joanne Woodward, Judy Collins, Judy Holliday, Julie Andrews, Juliana Hough, Kamala Harris, Kat Dennings, Katy Perry, Kelly McGillis, Kim Basinger, Jessica Brown Findlay, he said maybe, Lana Wood, Marisa Tomei, Molly Ringwald, Pink, and David said, or flamboyant natural, she might just work out so much, hard to know. Renee Zellweger, Sandra Bullock, Kibbe said she's probably a soft natural. Scarlett Johansson, Kibbe says, might have had things done, you can see her straight shape in an earlier movie. Sissy Spacek, Stephanie Powers, Terry Garr. Let's go to soft natural men. Alan Alda, Joe Namath, O.J. Simpson, John Wayne, Robert Redford, Robert Conrad, Bing Crosby, he was reassigned from classic, Tom Cruise, Michael Hall, George Clooney, he was reassigned from soft dramatic, Gene Kelly, Brad Pitt, Gene Hackman, John Ruggins. Now let's go to dramatic classic. Connie Sellecca, reassigned from soft dramatic at some point, Diana Rigg, Gina Rowlands, Jackie Kennedy Onassis, Jane Wyman, Jill Biden, Catherine Ross, Lana Turner. In the book, she was in dramatic category, so she was reassigned by Kibbe to dramatic classic. Linda Gray, Lizzie Kaplan, Maria Shiver, Maggie Siff, Olivia Munn, Felicia Rashad, Polly Bergen, Suzanne Pleshette, Tracy Scoggins. Dramatic classics men, John Hamm and Cary Grant. Now let's go to classics. Again, now pure classics don't exist. At the beginning, his pure classic example was Grace Kelly. Now she's in soft classic category. Sybil Shepherd, Diane Sawyer, Ginger Rogers, Isabel Huppert. Classic men, Richard Crenna, John Forsythe, Phil Donahue, Robert Young, Henry Fonda, Anthony Perkins. Now let's go to soft classic. Barbara Walters, Carolina Herrera, Catherine Deneuve, she was reassigned to soft classic from classic. Catherine Oxenberg, Constance Bennett, Denis Benton, Donna Reed, Emma Thompson, Grace Kelly, she was reassigned from classic. John Fontaine, Kirsten Dunst, Kibbe said probably, Laura Linney, Lee Remick, she was reassigned from classic. Marion Cotillard, Meredith Baxter Burney, Meryl Oberon, Meryl Streep, Naomi Watts, Norma Shearer, Olivia de Havilland, Veronica Lake. Soft classic men. John Slattery, John Glenn, Bryant Gumbel, Gregory Peck, Jerry Brown, but with question mark. Now let's go to Flamboyant Gamine. Audrey Hepburn, Bonnie Franklin, Coco Chanel, she was reassigned from Gamine, Debbie Allen, Deborah Winger, Gloria Vanderbilt, Jennifer Love Hewitt, Julia Garner, Julia Harris, Kelly Osbourne, Lillian Montevecchi, Liza Minnelli, Lucy Liu, Nastasia Kinski, Patti LuPone, Penelope Cruz, Sherry Belafonte, Tina Turner, Twiggy, Zoe Deschanel. Flamboyant Gamine men. Jimmy Kimmel, it says here that, can't remember if Flamboyant Gamine or Gamine, whoever did this list, I don't know. Frank Sinatra, Neil Patrick Harris. Now let's go to Gamines, and again, he says now pure Gamines don't exist anymore. Everybody, whether it's more Flamboyant Gamine or soft Gamines. I'm still gonna read you the list. Edith Piaf, Geraldine Chaplin, Heather Locklear, Jean Seberg, Mia Farrow, Pat Benatar, Paulette Goddard, Rosanna Arquette. And here's Gamine men. Johnny Carson, Sammy Davis Jr., Dudley Moore, Richard Pryor, Joel Grey, Richard Simmons, Dick Cavett, Dick Clark, Red Buttons, Roddy McDowell. Now let's go to soft Gamine. Audrey Tautou, she was reassigned from Gamines to soft Gamines. Bette Davis, Betty White, Susan Hayward, Brigitte Bardot, Kibbe says maybe, Clara Bow, Claudette Colbert, Cyndi Lauper, Debbie Reynolds, Eartha Kitt, Halle Berry, Judy Garland, Jessica Brown Findlay, he said soft natural or soft Gamine. Leslie Caron, she was reassigned from Gamine. Linda Ronstadt, Mary Martin, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Mary Pickford, Octavia Spencer, Natalie Wood, she was reassigned from soft natural by Kibbe in 2014. Reese Witherspoon, Sally Field, Thandawi Newton, Victoria Principal, Winona Ryder. Soft Gamine men. Fred Astaire, Robert Downey Jr. Now let's go to romantic type. Is the softest type Arlene Dahl, Barbara Mundrell, Bernadette Peters, Beyonce, Christina Ricci, Claudia Cardinali. It says possible, given as inspiration to romantic in 2017. Delta Burke, Dolly Parton, Drew Barrymore, Elizabeth Taylor, Emma Sams, Gina Lollobrigida, Helena Bonham Carter, H.E.R. Gabby Wilson, Isla Fisher, Gene Simmons, Jessica Lange, Kate Winslet, Madonna, Marilyn Monroe, Susan Sarandon. Romantic men. Colin Firth, Leonardo DiCaprio, Elijah Wood, Simon Baker, Christopher Atkins, Richard Gere, Michael Jackson, Sugar Ray Leonard, John Schneider, Omar Sharif, Billy D. Williams, Michael York, Elvis Presley, Lorenzo Lamas. And last but not least, theatrical romantic. David Kibbe himself is theatrical romantic, and his wife Susan Slavin is also theatrical romantic. Anne Margaret, Donna Mills, Heidi Lamar, Jada Pinkett Smith, Jane Seymour, Jean Harlow, Joan Bennett, she was reassigned from Soft Classic, Joan Collins, Marilyn McCoo, Mila Kunis, Morgan Brittany, Morgan Fairchild, Salma Hayek, Selena Gomez, Vivian Lee. Theatrical romantic men: Orlando Bloom, Prince, Johnny Depp. Alright, that's it. I hope that was interesting. And as I said, all the interesting links I'm gonna leave down below, including my email address, in case you have some additional information. 100% true, for example. Maybe you've seen him talking about it. So let me know. Thank you and bye-bye.